All right. So how Facebook is going, first of all, I was seeing some posts on like this Beachbody group that's not the round table. It's not the 5-star wall and above. It's like the behind the scenes 5 stars, because they want to be able to talk about things that they don't like about corporate, and there's no corporate people in there. So I noticed there was some women posting and saying like, who is still using Facebook to grow their business? Because everyone's like, go to Instagram. Instagram's my jam, whatever. And we're all trying to make Instagram happen. Well, Instagram's been flooded with Beachbody coaches that are like literally cold messaging people they have never talked to before and saying, you want to join my Beachbody challenge group? And that's what's turning these people off. They're not warming up their market at all. And that's what's giving us a bad rep. And like, I remember listening to a talk by Danielle Natoni, and she said, if you wouldn't invite them to your birthday party, why are you inviting them to your Beachbody challenge group? Like, you want to have them be a warm person, like be warmed up before, like, you would invite them to your birthday party. Then you can start inviting them to your challenge group. That's how you want to feel about the relationship when you're inviting them, which I always remember that. And I thought, that's awesome. I tried doing the whole like cold marketing, like messaging people that followed me and liked my stuff. And it just, first of all, it didn't get me anywhere. It probably turned those people off even more. And they probably stopped following me because they're like, oh, she just wants to sell. So the point of the point of bringing these people off social media and bringing them into my sisterhood community is that I'm turning a cold market person who knows nothing about me except what I post on social media, which we all know social media is fucking bullshit, right? We're all posting the positive stuff, whatever. So I'm bringing them over so they can see more of me in like a more vulnerable setting, in a more private setting, and they can share more about themselves. So that is like how I'm warming up my cold market. And it's been working for Bria, like I said, to hit successful 20 to 30 and bring on like 6 coaches a month within her community, because she's got like 1,200 or she's got like 1,500 people in that community, because she's been building it for like a year, bringing people from Instagram or Facebook or whatever over to that community. So whether you're building on Facebook or building on Instagram, the thing that I saw on that the closet post was that older coaches, like 40s, whatever, are better on Facebook, because we all are more Facebook people. But the younger population, like the 25s, 26s, they're doing really well on Instagram, because Instagram came around after Facebook, and it's like the new generation of people. Now I'm attracting, like I had a call this week with a 20 something she posts about fitness all the time on her stories. She's in my sisterhood community. So I've warmed her up a little bit. She watches my stories. She likes my posts. And I saw that I started watching her stories, and I'm like, dude, she's posting like fitness stuff all the time. And I was like, and I started having a conversation with her behind the scenes, private messaging. And it got to the point where I felt comfortable saying, you know what, have you ever thought about doing what I do? That's all I said. Like, have you ever thought about being a coach and doing what I do? And she's like, well, I don't know. I don't really know much about it. I was like, well, would you be open to just having a conversation with me about it, and I can share? So we got on a FaceTime call. Like, we set up a time, we got on FaceTime so I could see her face and she could see my face, because I think that changes so much for people when you can actually like see how they operate in their mannerisms. And it helps me get to know, is she really my market? Am I really her? Like, we get to know each other better if we can see face to face. So we sat on like one night on FaceTime. We talked for like 45 minutes to an hour. And I just started with just like getting to know her. Like, so what do you do for work? Where do you live? She actually lives in Pompano. She's local. What do you like your job? Like what kind of things, whatever. We had a whole conversation. And then I was like, it turned out that she ended up saying if she could have her dream job, it would be like being like health and fitness. Like, that's what she would want to do. So, she's like totally a potential, but she does gym workouts. She doesn't do Beachbody workouts, and she doesn't use supplements. And so I'm like, at the end of the conversation, I'm like, well, you really need to try the products and make sure it's something you love if you're going to sell it. So that's something that you have to decide if you want to do. And I'm like, this is just a conversation. I'm not trying to like sell you on anything. And I literally just had a conversation with her. That's warming her up again to me more, because we're continuing that dialogue, and we're warming up, we're building our relationship. Whereas like Beachbody in the past, and the way that I used to do it is like, they want you to close like on that first call. Like you got to close them. You got to finish the deal. You got to get them to sign. You know what? That doesn't work. I've had that one prime example. My coach that Hannah, she ended up going, she's now with another coach. That's how I was back then when I signed her up. It was like, get him to sign right away. And I got her to sign, but she never did anything with the business because we didn't have a relationship built. And we didn't have that like foundation of, she didn't have the trust with me, you know, because I didn't work to build that relation. Well, I did. I actually invited her like to come over and stuff, and we hung out a couple times, but like she knew that I was like using her to close a sale is basically, and that's the difference between someone who's actually leading a team and making it about like other people's goals versus making it about closing the sale. So I don't know what my whole point of that. Oh, the whole point of my tangent was to start Facebook groups are now showing up more in people's news feeds than Facebook posts. So if you're posting, you know, whatever to Facebook, you know, only so many percentage of your followers are actually going to see what you're posting on your actual Facebook page. More people are going to see what you're posting in your groups, obviously if they're in your groups because they're private, right? Then they're going to see your actual posts. So the point of creating a Facebook community and a group is to get your leads that are cold, or your people that are cold market, or even your friends or whatever, get them into your groups, because once they're funneled in there, the posts that you're making, they're going to see them more. So you're going to be able to add more value with the posts that you're making. So the point of the post is not just to get them to comment, which is what I was doing before Stephanie, you know, introduced us to the questioning. They would, you know, comment, and I would just be like, good job, way to go. Like I'm being a coach, right? I'm a cheerleader. But Stephanie, with showing how to dig into, she showed it on the team page, showed us how to dig into someone and ask more questions and get them to actually get more vulnerable and share. That is creating a conversation on the thread of that post. And that's going to make that post pop up in even more people's news feeds. Like, so your people that are in your group are going to see that there's that conversation going on in that post, if that makes sense. So the point is not get them in a group and sell to them. The point is get them in a group and get to know them and get them to engage on the post in that group. Get a conversation going in that post. So Michelle Gadd or whatever, the one who I bought the content from, or you guys are in her like almost Insta famous, that's what she teaches you how to do, is like you that's why I bought that content, because I know someone wrote that for me. I know it's going to create engagement because she has been doing Bria's group for the last 2 years, and she knew exactly what to write to create like good content to create engagement with the people. And as you're already seeing, people are commenting on those posts in our team alone, in our challenge group and the sisterhood group. So now that Paige, who is the girl that I talked to this week about coaching, we had that conversation. She's in my sisterhood group. So she's still connected to me. She's still like getting that valuable content that I'm posting, and I'm still building and developing that relationship with her until if and when she's ready to actually sign to be a coach. Because her thing was like cost. She doesn't have the money to sign up for a challenge pack right now, which really is just fear that she's not going to succeed. But I'm not going to like pressure her into signing. I'm just going to keep developing that relationship until she sees the value in what I do and is ready to join my team. So that's what like I'm doing with these groups. So I highly encourage you to think about how you can warm up your cold market leads from Instagram or Facebook, wherever they're coming from, whatever's working for you, and warm them up and get that conversation going and get them to be, you know, curious about the other things that you're offering.
Something that you shared about Danielle that like really stuck with you, like, would you invite this person to your birthday party? I love analogies. So I heard that also back in the day. And to me, it's like when you say to someone like, hey, like, have you ever wanted to go to Florida? And the person's like, yeah. You're like, I'm going right now. You want to jump in the car and go? You'd be like, but you're a freaking psycho. That's people selling on social media. Hey, are you working on your goals? I am. Great. Do you have a credit card? Because I have a challenge group starting right now. I mean, same thing. You know, it's like you wouldn't just have someone get in your car just because they said yes. I've thought about going there. And then it's funny because, you know, different things work for different people in your personality. And I do have someone that she reached out Monday. And the last time we spoke was me just checking in. She reached out like a year ago and I was just checking in and she had an objection. And I was like, girl, I didn't even freaking ask you like about anything. I don't know why you're having a money objection when I didn't even ask. I just said, how's it going? And she was like, oh, well, she reached out again on Monday and was like, I'm all in. I want the app for a year. I want Beachbody for a year. I want Shakeology. How much money am I spending? Because I am all in. I'm so ready to do this. And I was like, okay. So like I told her and I was like, you can just start with like a $30 purchase. And she was like, no, I want everything. She told me Wednesday I'm in. Messaged her Wednesday. Okay, it's Friday. Messaged her Friday. Well, my husband is questioning everything. So I'm going to send him your link. I think I might just start with monthly. I did message her this morning and I was like, hey girl, so glad you reached back out. So Monday, like money was not even an issue. You were all in. Turned Wednesday, which you had a, little setback. Totally understand. Turned Friday, which is now Saturday. Like we went from like hundreds of dollars down to 30. What's the real issue? I do ask those questions. Like, and I don't want someone to join to shut me up. And I've said that before. I'm not here to ask you these questions so that you'll just pay and never use. What is holding you back? So, I think different personalities, different things, and it's a case by case with where are you at in that relationship? I wouldn't do that to somebody that just reached out today. This has been over the year. So I always think, people always want to know, like, what is the one thing that works? There isn't. Everybody's different. It's just like your kids. It's like what's working for my oldest is not working for my youngest. Like when she comes home from school, my oldest go right to their homework and they're successful. My youngest has to have downtime. She cannot do that homework right after school. Same idea with, customers and potentials. Everybody's different. You just you'll fail forward on learning how to feel that out and work with them.
And
John,
feeling that out is, to piggyback off that, is always about how to help them reach their goals. It's not about, and for so long I did this business and it backfired on me. It was like, how can I sell? Like, how can I not, it was like, how can, like, I want to make money. That was the thing. Like, I want to make money, which I want to do it helping people. Don't get me wrong. But like, my big thing was I wanted to quit my anesthesia job. So I forgot the why of why I started in the first place, which was help people get fit, help people get healthy and fit, right? Help people live a healthy lifestyle. And so you have to remember your why again when you're having those conversations. If it's only about you, you're going to show up in a way that's going to rub people the wrong way. It's going to turn people off and they're going to say no because you're making it all about you. But if you go back to like, who is this person? What do they need from me? How can I support them? And you always make them the center of what you're doing. It's going to work out for the positive. And I'm going to piggyback off what Stephanie said. And I have a client, a client who's been with me for a while, been drinking Shakeology on and off and doing the workouts. She loved MM100 and she takes bar classes like once a week. And so when bar came out, I was like, oh, this program's going to be awesome for you, Cindy. She's a teacher. She's been doing really good with staying on track. And I was like, all right. So she bought the bar, she unlocked it digitally. And she's like, you know what? I'm really not like digging this. She's like, I'm totally like, every day I feel like I don't want to do my workout. Like I'm not excited about it. I'm not like pumped up about doing bar. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I was like, I totally get it because I like intensity. Like literally, I have to take the most breaks I've ever had to take ever in a workout during bar. Because you're literally holding your leg up for like 3 to 4 minutes straight. And I can't do it. Like I have to take so many breaks. It's the most I have to take breaks with any program. However, I still don't feel, even though it's challenging me so much, I don't feel like I'm getting a good workout because it's not high intensity, high impact jumping around. And that's what I like. No problem. So I was honest. I was like, I'll be honest. And I told her all that. And I was like, but what is your real issue? Are you sure it's not something else? Like, is it, because I wanted to make sure, is it that she's quitting because it's too challenging for her? Or is she quitting because she's just not connecting with it? Whereas I didn't. So I asked her a question. She's like, you know what? I'll think on that. So she's going to get back to me. So again, I didn't make it about like forcing her to do bar because she bought the program and, you have to do it, whatever, or letting her cop out and saying, okay, no problem. Don't do it. Go back to something else. I was like, really think about it. Like, why is it? Like, figure out your why, your reason behind why you're not doing it. So that is going to deepen our relationship too, because I actually made it a point to make her the center of what I was doing. So just simple examples of intuitively listening to people and supporting them in a way that they need in that moment with everything. Did somebody have something to say? Because I feel like somebody was.
I just saw Donna shake her head a lot. So.
No, I was just gonna say, like for me, I've definitely, it's weird because, you know, you're constantly in the balance of like, yes, I want to like work my business harder because the business is the money part, of course, and I want to like grow that, but at the same time too, it has felt pretty good. Like now I've seen my community on my Instagram start to grow in a way that is showing me that it's making a difference, like what I'm doing, even though it's like so slow. I can't believe I have 350 followers. Last year I had like 200, but that has been so hard for me to get those followers because I've gotten people that, you know, of course there's random people, and I block a lot of the weirdo guys and stuff. So I only have people who are like, that I want to see my page. So I feel like it's like those people now are really potential that I can get to know because there are women who are working out or are trying to work out or whatever. And, you know, out of those 130 people, I maybe have been talking to, I don't know, 10 of them, which have actually like, we talk back and forth, you know, we comment on people's stuff, our stuff, and we are more engaging in real conversation. And so maybe I've been working on that for like 6 months where I've like tried to reach out to, you know, the cold market, but I'm not reaching out to them as a cold market. I'm just reaching out to them as people I don't know yet, you know? And so I've been like reminding myself again, because I am like a slow and methodical person, that, you know, I am like planting these seeds right now and that they are getting to know me. They are following my stuff. And that, you know, I posted about Ava being sick. She's still really sick. And like some of these ladies who I've been talking to have like messaged me like, oh, I hope she feels better. And oh, my kids are sick too. And it sucks. And so I'm like, oh, they took the time to actually like say something about my daughter, which I don't talk about her much. And, you know, so then I'm like, okay, our conversations are like mattering because these people are like reaching out to me now for, you know, just they're paying attention to what's going on in my life with just those little things. So that was like a little more encouraging just because that means like my potential community is growing. And yes, it's growing one person at a time. It's like I'm remembering like one person at a time makes a difference because that is a person that I actually like can say I know, you know, on social media, and they know who I am. So that's what I've been working on and just reminding myself. Same with these challenge groups. Right this month I have one person, but this one person, she's awesome right now. I do actually know her because she's at work, but she is like, she got educated on the portion fix. She got educated on, you know, working out. She didn't want to work out one day to do yoga. We had a hard day at work, like crazy things are going on at work with like layoffs and stuff. And she had to let somebody go. She didn't want to work out. I just reached in on her and said, you know, that sucks. I know it's hard, but yoga is great for emotional release. Like, she's like, maybe I will. And she did it anyways. So I'm like, okay, smaller numbers right now. They're tiny, like non-existent, but those people are people that I can really work with right now. And they're ready to like work together. So I'm just like reminding how small it is, but it is significant.
And don't be afraid. Like, I love that they asked you about Ava and like she was, you know, sick or whatever, and they were like asking you about that. That's awesome. And I hope she feels better soon. But don't be afraid to like ask people also for their opinions on things. Like, for example, I have a cat that like stopped eating her food and she's lost like 2 pounds in like a couple months. And I thought she was getting sick and I didn't know. And I was like, and I know there's this girl, Melissa, who has been following me for a long time. And like, she had a different coach, like a Beachbody coach that quit. And so now she's actually my customer now. And I know that she has like 11 cats. She's like one of those people that feeds all the feral cats and whatever. So I was like, hey girl, like I have this issue with my cat going on. What is your advice? And then she was like, she kind of was texting me back. And then I was like, you know what? I just called her up. I'm like, hey, you know, it might just be easier to have a conversation. I'm like, this is what's going on. This is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. And now she actually messaged me a couple days later and was like, hey, how's your cat doing? And then she was like, hey, and by the way, I was thinking about doing like a kickboxing program. Is there one on Beachbody On Demand? So we're building the relationship around like cat, you know what I'm saying? Like cats. I mean, she's a customer and I'm asking her for advice. So don't be afraid to like ask, which I know Stephanie does that all the time on her page. Like, what is this or what are that? Like ask people questions and things that you know that they're experts on, because that makes them feel good to be able to like tell you something that they know.
Well, that's a good point, because I'm a know-it-all, so I don't think I need people's advice. So it takes me a long time to realize that I can ask for people's advice. And it's Stephanie, I think it's hilarious that you like Royce, because I adore Royce. Like, he is my baby, and I'm like, nobody gives a shit about my baby dog.
I love Royce. I think Royce is so cute.
I think it's his haircut because I've seen poodles before and I'm like, ew. But there is something about him that I am like drawn to. And I'm like, oh, there he is. And I like sit down and like watch your stories, like go back, rewatch it. Like, he is like super cute. I think he could be a huge part of your following. I mean, just like Tiny T is a huge part of mine. I think there's something there with your dog. Like, he is like,
he is funny because he's not a normal poodle. That might be why you like him, because that's why I like him, because he's kind of like, he's not black, he's brown, and he's kind of like scruffy looking, but he's still a poodle. So he has kind of the little poodle haircut. Anyways, yes, I love him. Thank you.
Well, I was fascinated that your husband does the cut. Like, that does not look like an easy cut, but like, there's so many things you can talk about with that damn dog.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. I just feel that's a great point. I got to open my mind up to stuff like that, because I just feel like, you know, people, I have the stigma of people don't care. Like, that's what I think. And I know that's not right, you know?
I mean, if they're following you and they're watching your stories, they do care. They want to see like more about what's going on in your behind the scenes. I mean, that's like people send me bird videos. Like, people tag me in bird videos all the time or send me them immediately. Like, they start following me and they know I'm a fucking bird mom, because I'm always posting like birds on my stories and in my page or whatever. And birds aren't really, not everybody has birds. It's something different, you know? So definitely, I mean, yours could even be like specific, like poodle specific, like poodles. You can get people tagging you in poodle things, you know, miniature poodles. So usually, and this is another thing that that will forever be ingrained into my head. Usually someone follows you for something other than health and fitness, something like other thing that you bring to them, something else that you're like bringing to the table. They're attracted to you for another reason, because not everybody's thinking about health and fitness. So if that's all you're posting about, then they're going to stop following you. But like people follow me literally just to see my birds. Like, they just want to see my birds, you know, and then maybe someday they're going to be watching me and watching my birds. And eventually they're going to want to get in shape and they're going to message me about joining a challenge group. But like, keeping my birds in the mix is going to keep them following me, so that someday when they're ready, they, you know, might become a customer or a coach. So we did want to do, I think Steph was going to lead a little bit about, I know like 2 weeks ago, we said we were going to continue on with the vision board, but since so much time went by, I was like, you know, it's just like, that's already like done. Like, you know, I think everyone should finish up their vision boards. But I did ask Steph if she'd be willing to like teach us a little bit more how to dig in and ask questions within our groups and on social media, and when someone's signing up. Do you still want to do that stuff?
Yeah, and my response to her, because I mean, obviously I can show you my page, I can show you all my conversations, but I mean, that's the same thing as like, I bought a program and it doesn't work. So it really helps for you guys to show me a conversation and talk you through, you know, a better response, or to revive it or something like that, you know, versus me just showing you what I do. So if one of you has a conversation like, oh yes, yesterday, you know, or somebody had an objection or somebody ghosted on you or whatever, that's going to work better talking you through how to do it. I know that I learn better that way. You know, you just gotta practice. So is there anyone that has a conversation? I mean, basically what works for me is I'm just not afraid to dig. Like, I don't care. You're a fucking stranger to me. I don't give a shit. Go ahead, leave my page. I actually had someone that did, this is awesome. I posted about it in my connection builder. She went from, oh my God, I can't wait to go home and do my homework. I'm going to start. I'm so excited. And I was like, wait, you don't even have anything yet. And I shared with her about like, this is how you can enroll, blah, blah, blah. And then she literally like in a 24-hour period was like, well, I'm going to have to wait till like next week. I'm just really busy. So like when I can find the time, I'll get started. And I snapshotted what she said. I was like, 24 hours ago, you were literally like, I can't wait to go home and do my homework. And I was like, what the hell just happened overnight? Like, what changed? And I gave her back her own words. She actually blocked me. I don't care. I don't care. If you can't handle the truth, I have no interest in working with you. And I actually just asked one of my clients to go live, and she did, while we've been on this call, to go live in my Facebook app community, because she reached out to me. She's doing hammer and chisel, and she's like, okay, the step-ups, I'm over it. Like, I can't stand the step-ups. Like, I don't like it. And I was like, bullshit, Jackie. I know you. You fucking love this shit. You're pissed because the step-ups are hard for you. It's out of your comfort zone, and you're struggling with them. You can modify. You do not have to do them on a full bench. I get it. You're short. So find something else. You told me you have a cooler last night. You told me that you have a step. You just don't like the fact that it's uncomfortable and you have to work your way to get there. And she was like, fuck, you're right. She was like, I love that you just give me the honest truth. That's who I work best with. So I'm going to dig. And if you want to ban me, block me, go for it. I don't give a fuck. You're not my people. Not to say that you all should do it that way. You have to be true to who you are. But I dig into people. Like, what's stopping you? Why were you so excited yesterday and now you're not? What's the real reason? And when you release that, you can actually move forward, whether it's with me or somebody else, but you got to be honest with yourself. Stephanie,
I never have people who are actually excited. So I don't even know how to deal with excitement. That's the people that like, so these ladies that I'm reaching out to now, like, for example, this one woman, she does Zumba and she posts it on her Facebook page. And I think actually it's so cute. She's quite overweight, but she posts on Zumba. She has fun. We've been talking about it. She can't meet up with her group because she has to go to work. So I invited her. I'm like, would you want to join a Zoom call? I can send you a workout video and you could do Zoom with us. And she can't go do 6 o'clock right now because she goes to work at 8, but next month she's going to work at 9 in the morning. So I'm like, you want to do it at 9 in the morning? That would be perfect timing. If you don't have to be to work till 9, you can do, like, I think she's going to, but like that, like I always have these slow people, but I'm a slow starter too. So I kind of like I'm like, they want it. They just don't know they want it. Let's like talk about this. But she's like, for this, it would be perfect for her because when she can't get to her Zumba class, she can still do the workouts, here. And there's dance workouts. There's so many different things. So I guess I don't really know what my question is, but I'm always dealing with slow starting people. And you have like these people who are like firecrackers, but then disappear. I have like people who like don't know they can stuff, like I'm like, okay, these are great people. The people that I say are like great for, they can start supplementing, home stuff with the stuff they do. Because 3 days a week doing Zumba is great. But honestly, I know that it's not going to help her get beyond where she's at,
Do you say that? Do you say that?
No, not yet.
That's the problem. So it's not bashing what she's doing. It's, Jonna, that is awesome. So I think it's great that you've started with Zumba 3 days a week. But that is less than half the week, focusing on your goals. So what are you willing to do? Would you be willing to pick it up one more day? Are you willing to change your eating habits? It's not, find out where are they willing to start. And it's your perception that these people are like, oh my God, like they're firecrackers. No, the person I just shared about is not a firecracker. She's been following me for over a year. That's your perception. You just heard what you wanted to hear because you're struggling to get people on board. So you just heard somebody, like you heard what you wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. But
I'm not afraid to say, I'm not afraid to share back what people need to hear. 3 days a week is a great start. And if you started from nowhere, you probably had initial change. Okay, now you're in a comfort zone of 3 days a week. Are you ready to go to another level and add another layer to what you're doing? What does that look like for you?
Yeah.
And it's the energy behind what Stephanie is sharing. It's like your confidence in the way that you share it too. You're not like trying to be something. That's just like who you are. That's just, and I know that you gained that over like years of being a coach. Like I know that you've gained that, like that candidness over being a coach for so long, but it's also the energy behind, like if you're having this scared like fear that Beachbody is like, oh, it's oversold and these coaches have this stigma, and you're putting out like this fear, and you think that people don't need what you have to offer, or it's too expensive, or whatever it is, whatever your energy you're putting out behind, you're going to attract people that are going to show you. So like maybe your thoughts, maybe you have a subconscious that like, oh, people aren't going to start right away with me. So there's like a subconscious energy that you're putting out. So then you're attracting people that aren't ready to start right away with you. I don't know. Like the book that I'm reading, The Universe Has Your Back, it's all about like the energy that you put out is what you attract. So whatever you're attracting is showing you the energy that you're putting out. So once you shift it, like Stephanie attracts people that need the truth because that's what she's putting out. Like that's who she is. So that's what she's attracting because that's who she is. So, I mean, I don't know what mine is right now, but
something that's really interesting about being candid in who you are. So I have a friend that she just started Bar Blend and I know that Elise is not her cup of tea. And so I asked her about that. I was like, so how are you enjoying Elise? And she was like, I'm going to be honest. Like, do I enjoy the way she coaches? No. But what I appreciate is that appears to be who she is. And I will always appreciate somebody being true to who they are. She was like, I don't think she's just putting on this persona of, rainbows come out my ass every day. She's like, I honestly think that rainbows like shoot out her ass. Like, I just think that that's just her. And she was like, so, I take it with a grain of salt. And I was like, that's really interesting. As long as you're being truthful to who you are, the right person's going to appreciate it. Even if it's not who they are, but they will appreciate that in you. If that makes sense.
And that's the same thing about how you post on your page. If you're reading these other coaches' posts and thinking like, oh, I need to post like that because that's what's going to help me attract people, you're confusing the people that are following you. And know, like, and trust. That's what you're trying to do. They need to know, like, and trust you. So how do you do that? You have to be consistent with who you are and authentic and showing up in that same, it's branding. That's what it is. Like Apple computers, fucking Apple is Apple. Like, what they're about. I mean, they revolutionized sales and marketing, computers and phones and all these different things. Like, what they are about. So that's exactly what you need to be in your conversations, in the way that you're speaking, the way that you're posting, all of it in your groups, all of it needs to be in alignment with your authentic self. Shit, I think it froze on me.
Oh. Write her and be like, hey girl, like, hey John, so I was thinking about you this morning, and where you're at in that 3 days a week where you started. If you started from scratch, yeah, you're having change. And let's write out a follow-up. Do it now.
Yeah.
So pull it up and let's do it.
All right, hang on. Oh God, are you guys staring at my face close up now? Sorry.
Yeah, good.
Before we go too, I want to make sure I do a boomerang before we go.
Oh wait, hold on. Then let me get away from my camera. All right.
Are you doing it now?
Yeah, I thought that's what you wanted to do.
Well, no, the boomerang. Oh,
I can do the boomerang.
Are you doing a boomerang now?
I can do it right now.
All right.
I
don't want my face like this in the boomerang.
All right, let's do it now before I forget. Ready? Hold on. Let me put this knot in front of my face. 1, 2, 3. I held it very still. I did awesome. All right. Now we're going to do follow up.
Yeah. So she said, so like one of the last things we said, I said, it takes nonstop effort. I like what you do though. You seem like you're learning what works for you to get progress. She said, yeah, I miss lifting in the mornings with my Zumba group. So now I have to do it on my own. I said, oh, bummer. What time were you doing the group workout? She said 8 o'clock.
but I work at 8. I said, do you want to join my Zoom call at 6 a.m. tomorrow and work out with me and my girl, Angie? If you have a laptop, you can meet up with us and press play for free. I can send you a video. She lives in Pittsburgh and I'm in Detroit. Said we do that Monday through Friday. So that sounds fun, but I usually leave by 6:45 since I live 30 minutes away. I said, shoot, maybe sometime we can pull it in early if you want to give it a try. I said, well, I am changing my shift to 9 to 5:30 next month. I just said, cool, that would work. And we just left it off as of right now.
Okay, here's what I'm hearing in the conversation is you are fixated on having her join a Zoom versus just helping her with her goals. I mean, she needs, she can't get to her class, but if you press play on lift 4, 4 days a week or 2 days a week and mix it in with your Zumba, that's perfect. So I think you could like message her and be like, what's her name?
Linnell.
Like, hey, Linnell. So I was actually thinking about, our conversation. I love the fact that you're getting to class a few times a week, but you mentioned wanting to, work in lifting. What do you have access to at home? Because I have some thoughts for you. And just start there. My thoughts are lift 4.
Yeah.
But what are you willing to do? Would you be willing to add in, like ask her, like just start, but you have some ideas for her. What does she have access to at home?
Yeah. Good. That's a good point. I was really thinking if I can get her on like even a Zoom face-to-face talk, then we could talk so much more. I guess I get impatient with the back and forth on texting. I think that's probably my thing. I really want to talk to her, to be honest with you. And
right. Her issue is that she wants to add something in and be like, well, do you want to get on a live Zoom call with a bunch of strangers? Okay, well, maybe she doesn't, like she likes classes, but that's kind of freaking her out. Like, so just, be open to how you can help her. Like right now you have tunnel vision.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So message her and then tell us what you're doing before you send it.
And I think that's reiterating the point of like, it's asking questions and finding out what's her goal. What's going to help her at this point.
All right. Just
while she's doing that, does anybody else have like conversation that Stephanie can help with? Georgia, Stephanie, Matilda, Diana? Because she's fucking good at this, you guys. use her strengths and her talents.
My hardest thing is digging deeper. Like when someone gives me a no, like, no, it's not a good time, I right away just say, oh, okay, I totally understand. I'll be here when you're ready, and I'll send them like a free link to a workout video, and then they'll do the video and they'll love it and they'll respond back that they love it. And then I just kind of freeze. I don't know. I have a hard time. Like I said, I just automatically say, oh, that's okay. I'll be here when you're ready. And then I just have that, I don't know. I just feel like I'm being pushy if I keep, why aren't you ready? And why,
So give me a conversation, like show me a conversation or tell me like the last place that it left off and you're like,
let me find it.
Okay. So,
and I just put in that something very simple that like would be, my version of what I would say to Jonna's client, just for another take on it. So go ahead, Jonna. It sounds like you're ready.
Yeah. All I said was, hey, I was thinking about you this morning and you mentioned missing lifting in the morning. Do you have any equipment at home? But that's it. I mean, should I just find like, just take, do you just like go
so
into
a little like, it was
one is
short and sweet to the point. Be like maybe just a little bit more like neat. So I put my like response in there like, hey, I was thinking about you this morning. I know that you have interest in adding lifting to your current routine. What do you have available to you at home? Because I have some thoughts. So like, I have something to share with you, but I need to know what you have first.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm giving her a little like dangling a carrot. Like, I have some ideas for you, but it's going to be based on what do you have access to? If she's like, I have nothing, we still have ideas. She can be doing T25. She can be doing, I mean, there are workouts that, you know, she can be doing Tabata style from Max 30. So there's definitely things that she can be doing, but I need to know what you have access to so I can go in that direction with you.
Yeah. Okay.
And there is actually a free Tabata. I mean, in the links that I sent you guys, there's one of those days is Tabata. So she could try it out and then be like, you know, is that something that you would want more of or whatever? I mean, honestly, I would sell her. I would try and actually have her join first. But if she's like, then I'll talk about a free link. Okay, Georgia, did you find your?
Yeah, so I was scrolling through the conversation. It got to the point to where, you know, I was telling her, I said, so basically we just get you set up with a fitness package that works best for you. It comes with workouts and a nutrition guide and all that goodness. Plus it includes me as your coach and of course our online fitness group to help you stay on track. The group is run on a private app. I will send you a link to that app once you've completed your enrollment. How does that sound so far? And then she's like, sounds good. I'm sure there's a fee. So what's your price for this? And then, so then I went into telling her the enrollment fee and everything. And then I said, does that sound like something that would work for you? And she said, no, not right now, but thanks for the information. And then I said, you're welcome. I totally understand that the time just isn't right for you right now, but 6 days, 6 months, 6 years, I'll still be here, God willing. So when the time is right, I'm here for you. If you ever want to jump in the future, I'd totally love to work with you. In the meantime, here's a quick free under 30-minute sweat session you can do in between busy life. And I sent her the 21-day fix one. And she says, thank you. And I said, you're welcome. And then she replied the next day and says, thanks so much for the sample workout. It was a great workout. And then I said, you're welcome. I said, glad you liked it. That program is one of my absolute favorites because it hits everything: cardio, Pilates, yoga, etc. The personal trainer is the one who gave me my first results. She's awesome, petite but feisty. And then her name is Melinda. Melinda replied back, oh, yes, she is. And then that's it.
Okay, so I have a couple things right out the gate.
Okay.
If somebody has a price objection, I would be curious the conversation that happened before you sharing all the goods, because typically a price objection is I don't have enough information and I don't trust you fully yet, which you built trust by sending her the sample. Second thing is, okay, maybe she's not into a challenge pack, but hello, 2-week free trial. You know, you sent her that sample and she thoroughly enjoyed it. So be like, hey, you know, I love that you did it. First of all, that's awesome. It shows me that you really do want to work on yourself. You know, what are your thoughts on getting started just, you know, in a way that's, you know, is a better fit for you where you're at right now. You can join with a 2-week free trial, and then it's literally like $2.99 a week. You know, does that sound like a better way to get you started? You know, did you even think to like downsize, or was it like challenge pack? No. Okay.
Yeah.
But so what was the conversation before? You know, did you get to her pain points? What is her struggle? Has she done programs in the past? You know, has she worked out in the past? Like what's her struggle?
Let me find, scrolling up.
Because if somebody's like, I struggle to stay on board, you know, would it help you to be in a group setting where other people have your same excuses, but they still show up to themselves? Would that help to see that? You know, like I'm going to sell somebody on what their struggle is and talk more specifically to that.
Scrolling up here, she talks about, you know, wanting to tone up, eat healthy again. She's been on a fitness journey. She finds herself getting in slumps and losing motivation.
Okay, did you ask what that journey was? What has she done? What is she?
Yeah, and she said she was running and walking.
And what kind of changes did you see? Was she doing any sort of, you know, meal plan around that, or was she just like eating healthy?
Yeah, I said, you mentioned one of your goals is to eat healthy. What does your nutrition look like right now? Have you ever followed a meal plan to help with your goals? And then she says, no, I haven't followed a meal plan.
Okay. So then my follow-up to that would be, okay, great. So like, what does, tell me more about, what would you say your struggles are with eating at this time? I mean, because, and I educate people, there's a difference between eating healthy and eating for goals. And if you're eating healthy and overeating, yeah, that's not doing anything. Or if you're not really following anything, that's maintenance. So if you're doing all these runs and being active and just healthy, that's maintenance. And that makes sense why you are slow to see change. So like I try and educate with a question.
Okay.
And also like, it's, of course you want to, the complete solution is the best for everyone, right? Like to get the complete solution, nutrition, fitness, all the stuff, right? But if someone is specifically looking for nutritional health, and that's really the area that they struggle, and they're good with what they're doing as workouts, you trying to sell them a whole package and then telling them the price is going to make them be like, no, because that's not what they want. But maybe if you dug deeper into, usually a price objection like that right away is like you haven't made that trust and you haven't really gotten what their goals are. So if you dig deeper into their goals and you find out specifically nutrition is the thing that they struggle with the most, then you can do like a 2B or a 21-day, whatever, the fixate thing, whatever that.
Yeah, the new
is.
like monthly. And I'd be sharing and it's awesome because the actual creator is going in twice a week and doing like question and answer. I mean, it is awesome. So like this is a program that it's not just, here's a program, like she is walking you through it and you have support and you can ask questions and get that feedback. It's cool because the creator is in the group live with you. How does that sound? Like I think, like Marissa mentioned in the beginning of this call, we're all conditioned challenge pack. And thank God I finally have like gotten away from that. And I have been selling more 3-month memberships or, just sharing like a piece of what we do. Like, and it is what it is. Do I have like high numbers this month? Honestly, I don't. Did I make $2,000 in my first week of January? Yeah. Right now I'm at like SC6. I finally have stopped caring about the numbers, and that was hard for me. I actually don't think I'm gonna sign up for the Success Club trip because I told John, I was like, I don't know that I'll hit the numbers every month. It's just not my push anymore. But we can take our own trip because I'm still making money.
And if the challenge pack is the solution for them because that is going to meet their goals, then it's not wrong to recommend that. But we have been conditioned, like Stephanie said, to, even Carl is still saying challenge packs, and you win all these things for, all this stuff. I actually had to pay for a lot of my Success Club trip this year because I didn't make Success Club a bunch of months, so I'm like, I'm going because I fucking paid a lot of money out of pocket for it, a lot more than I ever have. And I'm not signing up for, again, the Success Club trip in Mayan Riviera because my focus is not Success Club points. So when you bring someone into your world and you get them to join with whatever it is, a 3-month membership, a freaking 10-day supply of Energize, who can't use 10 days? There's a 10-day lemon Energize supply you can sell someone, right? Who can't use energy for their workout? Everyone can use that. And it's super cheap. I think it's like $15 or something. I don't know. So bring them into your world and it's much easier. There's been statistically, they have done studies on sales, and it's much easier to sell someone who you've already brought in something additional than it is to bring on a new customer. It's like, it takes 80% more effort or something like that to bring on someone new versus selling someone you already have that's a loyal customer something additional. So when you listen to people and you make it about them and their goals, which is always what we have to do, yeah, then you'll know what it is to recommend. Okay, go ahead.
I want Georgia to be able to do her conversation because let's end with that, Georgia.
Okay,
I want you to
thanks, Steph.
And I would be like, hey, Georgia, so, I was so excited to hear that you really enjoyed, that free sample that I sent you. What if you had that for 2 weeks?
Can you write it in the chat too, so she can see it?
So I'm giving you an idea, Georgia. I want you to write it, and then I will write it in the chat. But I'd be like, what if the program that I shared worked so well for me? You could have 2/3 of it in a free week trial. What do you think about that? and you can decide for yourself, is this something that, you know, I then want to, you know, start with the 3 months. I mean, so you do it, write something, and I'm going to write something. Anybody else wants to play my game, go for it.
No, that's all we have time for anyway. But I
mean, like, if you guys want to write in the chat what you would say.
I appreciate you, Steph. Thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie. And you're going to post this, right, Marissa, so I can go back and watch?
Yes.
And take notes what Stephanie said.
I'm recording, and I will post it. So
thank you.
Once we get off here, I got to make a phone call, and then I'm setting an intention that I'm going to get these out earlier, because like sometimes I just like I get afterwards and I go do something and then I don't get it out until later. So I'm going to try to be on top of it and get these calls, the recordings out the day of. That's my intention for the year.
Okay. So I'm kind of frozen because, you know, this was a couple weeks ago. How do I start it? So, by the way, I've been thinking about, you know, Melinda, I've been thinking about how much you liked the workout with Autumn. Just kind of like that. Is that just by the way? I mean, is that?
I'm writing something.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on, because this isn't like, I just sent something because I was in the middle and it was hard to go back. I'm on my phone. But I said, hi, Georgia, I'm so excited you enjoyed the sample I sent. The program that came from is 3 weeks, and there's a 2-week trial I can send you. Would you be willing to commit to 2 weeks and see how it goes? But given that you said it's been like a couple weeks, hold on.
I wrote something. I mean, it's simple.
Okay.
Not just like I was thinking about you and remembered that you love the 21-day fix sample workout. Because I do that sometimes when I'm working out. I think about people, like they pop in my head and I'm like, hey, I was thinking about you during my workout today.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was thinking about you because we were talking about you on my team call. No, I'm just kidding.
You could say that.
By the way.
I mean, honesty is really good. You could say, you know, I was on my coaching call this morning and we were talking about like conversations and, you know, and how, like, I don't know, you could just say we were talking, I don't know how you could say that. You could just say I was on my coaching call today and we were talking about conversations with people and you popped in my mind. That's the truth.
Well, I mean, I don't even think you need to do that. You know, that's like, okay, you were talking about me?
I know. I didn't say she was talking about her.
I mean, you just wanted to check in. Like, who cares why you're doing it? Like, hi, Georgia, I wanted to check in. I love that you tried out the sample I sent a couple weeks ago. Have you continued to be active and see change? Would you have interest in 2 weeks of samples and be able to complete 2/3 of the program free?
That's great.
Who the fuck would say no to that?
No, exactly. I wouldn't.
That's really good. You're good.
And I let people know that, okay, awesome. I'm super excited to have you join and like have access to not just the program, but to see all the other programs and the meal plans and a cookbook. Like you get all of that. And I just want you to know that, you know, when I send you the link, it is going to ask for credit card. It will not charge you for 2 weeks. And if it goes through and you're like, oh, I didn't want that, it's a super simple fix. So I let them know, like, yes, you're going to put a credit card, but oh my God, the amazing things that you're going to get in those 2 weeks. I cannot wait for you to, you know, and I hate saying try means you want something. It doesn't mean you're actually going to do it. Like, I can't wait for you to commit to this for 2 weeks to see what is possible.
And I like that commit, better try.
Oh my God, I hate the word try now. Try and pick up a.
Let her know that she's going to get charged after the 2 weeks and what the price is going to be also if she doesn't cancel.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, it is asking for a credit card, but there is 0 payment for 2 weeks. And then it's $2.99 a week. Like, how cool is that?
And I'm going to highly encourage you guys, like Georgia, since we're here right now, to have somewhere to invite her to also. Like that, my sisterhood community is like, I posted that content that I bought. I posted it for you guys to have for free. You can start your own community where you have someone to add value to them, because you have to also show them that you're valuable as a coach, not just that the products work, but like, where's your value at? You know, when I go live once a week in the sisterhood, I mean, you're in my sisterhood group, you're seeing the posts, and you know, they're not like complicated.
I didn't realize that you gave us that content.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. No, I didn't know. I didn't click on
posted
it.
it.
I was where you could buy it.
I actually returned that stuff because I don't know if you guys noticed, they changed a little bit from December. I actually liked the ones in December better than I liked the ones in January, because I actually switched. I bought from a new girl and I didn't like hers as much. So I actually probably just going to eat the $100 because she won't refund it to me. And I spent like 147 on the new stuff, like 150 bucks. And I'll share the new stuff with you guys from the girl that I really like. So, but I did post it in the team page for you guys to have. I don't like the way she even laid it out. She had everything in separate documents, like Monday's in a separate document, Tuesday. The other girl, Michelle, has it like literally like day 1, day 2, day 3. You just literally copy and paste and you can schedule.
Awesome.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to do that, I think. Cause I do have people that are like, you know, if you had a free group, I would join it. And I'm like, yeah, I got to get a free group. And then I'm like, oh, another thing to add to my plate. But I know how easy now it is to schedule those posts. It's freaking easy if you have something put into it.
Exactly. And that content, that's why I'm like $150, like it's a no-brainer. I have content for the year and I don't have to come up with Monday through Friday. She, you know, it's recipes on, it's like it's great stuff. Like, and then the polls are really cute and simple and easy. And it's just scheduling it, you know, and eventually if you think about it, like if you get so busy that you have so much business, you can have an assistant schedule those posts for you, you know? So, I mean, I'm not paying my assistant to do it right now because that's going to cost me like for an hour of her scheduling. I can just do it myself. Yeah. But, you know, eventually you can think about like, if it's overwhelming to you, you could eventually work towards having an assistant who you pay $10, $12, $15 an hour to do those things for you. So you could free up more time to be able to like help more people and have more conversations. So let's end it there. Thank you guys so much for all your shares and being vulnerable and willing to share your conversations and stuff. Thanks so much for helping. I appreciate you.
Thank you. It was good.
Have a great day, ladies.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya.